Okay, we're getting there, guys. SoFi is looking pretty good. We almost hit $20 per share this morning. We actually hit 19.50. Got some pretty decent momentum, and we drifted down the entire day. Closed at what, 1870, and we still had a 0.5% green day. As I'm sure you guys know, the entire market also had a green day. The S&P went up over 0.75%. The Russell up 1.1. Nasdaq, the Q's 1.5% up, and the Dow, let's see, about 0.5% up as the VIX went down 10%. So, guys, we have to break down SoFi. You know the drill. Go over the charts, what I'm doing, and some news regarding MasterCard, their partnership there, and we'll break down some earnings. Other stocks I'm looking at, Broadcom, I know, just dropped their numbers. We'll break those down. So, hit the like button. Make sure to subscribe. Join the Patreon if you guys want to keep up with what I'm doing in my portfolio, my trades, all my updates, and my private Discord are on Patreon, through Patreon. Link down below if you are, if you're interested. So let's get into it. SoFi again had a 0.5% green day today, and if you guys look at the chart, it looks pretty good on this 5-day, 5-minute. You're noticing this pattern that we've been in, right? Let me draw this channel. It's been, it's continuing here. It's been in this channel for a couple of days. You can see it here. We hit 1650, and really ever since that Noto news where he bought $1 million worth at 1788, and now we got the MasterCard news. It almost looks like we're seeing these good pieces of news come out, back to back. Stocks starting to move. The market overall looks good. Maybe it's a bottom. You can't ever be so sure. But these are good signs. Good signs, no doubt about it. And again, on this 5-day, 5-minute, we're making higher highs, higher lows, still in this channel. And with today's pre-market action, even though all day, during the day, intraday, we sold off, in the pre-market, we still took the highs out from yesterday and the day before, Monday. So that's a good sign. Momentum still continuing. We're seeing it build up, and again, two pieces of good news back to back. Market's looking strong overall. I like it, but we're not fully out of the woods yet as you pull the layers back, right? And that's the reality. And before you know it, right, it is going to break out. One day it will break out, but we're not fully there yet. Today's not that day. And sure, we've had a couple good days in a row, but we're not seeing the full breakout, which I need it to see, or I need to see it break out. Can I put my words together today, guys? $20, $22. It's got to get over there for me to constitute it as a huge or a legitimate reversal, and we're not there yet. And you're seeing it on the 4-hour time frame. But again, sometimes if you're buying for the long term, it doesn't matter if it's reversed or not. Who gives a crap? If you're buying for the long term, 3, 5 years out, even 1, 2 years out, it doesn't really matter. But if you wanna pinpoint the exact reversal point, which it's not always accurate, obviously, but if you want to wait for the trend reversal as a trader, we're not there yet. If you're a short-term trader, we're not there yet. It's got to take out 21, 22 at least. But again, if you're a long-term investor, who gives a crap? You're probably accumulating. You've been accumulating during the entire downtrend, and that's part of being an investor. It depends on your style. Some people don't like chasing downtrends. Some people don't like catching falling knives. They like waiting for the reversal. Others, they buy all the way down. They say, okay, and this is, I'm a little bit of both, depending on, it kind of depends on the strategy. But if I'm investing in a stock long term, I tell myself, okay, I want to buy this in, let's say, 4 or 5 different lots. So, okay, I'm buying, let's say I want to buy $20,000 of SoFi, for example. I'd buy $5,000, at this price, $5,000 at this price. You can do it by price, right? Or you can do it by, okay, I want to buy $5,000 month 1, month 2, another $5,000, month 3. So you can dollar cost average that way. Or if you want, during a downtrend, be like, okay, each $2-3 a share it goes down, I'll add another 5K. So it depends on how you do it. But long term, again, buying during a downtrend, it's kind of the name of the game if the numbers make sense too, right? If the numbers don't make sense and you're buying in a downtrend, you might be buying a stock that might never reverse back, right? That's a trap. This is not that, in my opinion. SoFi is not one of those stocks, but make sure stocks that you're buying in a downtrend, right, have strong fundamentals, right? Strong, actual financials too. We're talking real numbers here. And if they do, it could just be a short-term market sell-off. The stock's just getting beaten down. It's an opportunity, right? That's kind of how it works. But yeah, scaling into positions makes sense to me. And I know a lot of you guys have been doing that on SoFi, and I haven't really bought a bunch of SoFi on this downtrend because I'm an earlier investor in the company. I was buying the stock $5, $6, $7, $8 a share, and I have videos, a bunch of videos where you can go back and see me doing that. And so for me, it's like I'm holding on. I like the long-term charts, and maybe I'll regret it, in a couple of months, not buying more here. I might regret it for all we know. But I'm adding to other names here, guys. I've done so well on my SoFi, hundreds of % gains. I've locked in profits too. I've done well in the position. And at this point, I see value in other stocks more than SoFi, quite frankly. And one of those is a big tech name, Amazon. A lot of people are like, oh, big tech is dead. That couldn't be further from the truth, man. Amazon is going to be a lot bigger in 3 to 5 years. People don't realize this. And I was buying like a madman under 200, and we talked a lot about Amazon earlier today. But when it comes to automation, robotics, actually turning that $200 billion they put in CapEx, turning that into efficiency, making the company more profitable, more efficient, that's exactly what they're going to do over the next couple of years. They're already doing that. They're in that phase. And Amazon's going to do very well, guys. When it comes to profitability, free cash flow, that is going to go through the roof in a couple of years. And Amazon at this point, under 200, it was a steal. I was buying it like a madman. 205 even earlier this week, and now we're at 217. It's already starting to springboard back through that 210, 215 resistance. It was inevitable, and I think ultimately we will be over 200 or 220 rather pretty soon here. So, guys, SoFi, it's a great company, great stock. But for me personally, it doesn't mean for you, but for me, I'm not loading up here because, again, I'm an earlier investor. I'm adding in other stocks, but that doesn't mean, that's what you should do. And I'm not telling you what to do, right? Don't follow what I do. That's the point. Trade at your own risk. Do what you want to do. This is what I'm doing, right? This is what I'm doing. If I'm looking 3 to 5 years out, I see more opportunity at these prices. It all comes down to the current price to value ratio for the long term. Amazon is better than SoFi, in my opinion. And there are other stocks too that I think are better, but I might, you might be laughing at me. I don't know. But yeah, let's see what other stocks did well today. Let's break down the indices quickly. Hit the like button, by the way, guys. I appreciate you all for tuning in. Feel free to subscribe as well. I think 50% of you all watch the content, but you're not subscribing. You gotta do that to help me get to 100,000 subscribers. I appreciate you guys. Actually, wait, before we dive into the indices, let's look at AVGO quickly. Broadcom's numbers are out and their stock is up a little bit. It's been a little choppy. Holy crap, more than just a little choppy. It looks like AVGO reported adjusted EPS of $2.05. That beat the 202 expected on sales of $19.31 billion versus $19.19 billion. So double beat out of Broadcom. They see Q2 sales. Look at that, $22 billion versus $20.67 billion expected. Very good numbers there out of Broadcom. We can see here, if we come up a little bit, anything else really? That's really nothing really else there. Oh, they authorized a $10 billion buyback during this mid climbing AI demand. So, of course, AI demand's climbing. It's been climbing. So they guided up, just like NVIDIA. And they double beat. Very good quarter out of Broadcom, but it's really not budging. Are you guys surprised? I mean, I'm not too surprised, and I don't think the call might be starting now. I might have to hop on that call after this, but man, will it get out of the triangle? It doesn't look like the initial reaction got us out, and I can't say I'm surprised, guys. I'm not surprised. So we'll see. Ultimately, I think AVGO, it's a great company, decent value. I like NVIDIA more, other companies as well more. Not saying it's bad. Obviously, a lot of us own AVGO if we own just a standard basic S&P ETF. It's a huge company, so we all have a sliver there. But I don't know. Am I out here buying it individually right now? Not necessarily until I see it pick direction. I want to see it take out at least 330 to the upside, at least. And we're just not there yet. So I'm going to set my alert at 330. Mark is at or above on AVGO. Good guidance. Nice double beat. But I want to see that, price action follow through. And in this market, who knows if that's going to happen, right? So let's see quickly the indices here. SPY and QQQ are at a very interesting spot. We can see we're currently at the top of this channel on the 4-hour. You can see it on the 1-hour as well. So I went ahead today. You can see it on the Qs too. I went ahead today and I locked in profits on my Micron trade. So I bought that yesterday. And by the way, I post all my real-time trades, everything on Patreon, right? We post that right on Patreon and through the Discord, the private Discord on there. I bought that at 382 yesterday, and I sold it at 402, right before, or not right before close, but kind of right here. More so, right around power hour, the start of it. So I locked in gains there, not because I'm bearish necessarily, but just taking a little risk off the table here. With the Qs again being more towards the top of this channel, I want to see this break through. Now, if this does break through tomorrow, Micron could easily go 405, 410, 415, no doubt. I'm okay with missing that move to take risk off the table right now because, again, we're a little arguably overextended here in the short term, and we're more towards the top of this channel under the 180 moving average where we've gotten hit the last couple of weeks, really. We've seen this happen time and time again, so I want to see it really break through before I re-enter into some of these trades again. But I'm comfortable locking in gains here. I also locked in gains on my Netflix calls, which you might be like, Stas, what are you doing? Well, guys, I feel comfortable doing that. I took about a 33% profit. I sold them right around $14 a contract, I believe, and I bought them at $10.45. These are the $90 calls that expire in June, I think the 18th or something like that. So I locked in that profit, kind of similar to what I said before. De-risking a little bit, raising some cash, not a bad idea. Not a bad idea, especially on a day like today, especially if you're, up on, a good chunk on some call options, right? That's where you want to take gains. If you're up a good amount on call options, you think the market, it's not necessarily fully going to break out yet. We might see a little more rockiness. That's where you want to take your gains, the call options, because look, let's say tomorrow we have a nasty red day. This market's been whipsawing up and down. Those Netflix calls could be squashed, right? The gains could be gone tomorrow if Netflix whipsawed down, a couple percentage points. I mean, not all the gains, but, a good chunk of them would be gone. So I took the 35% profit, roughly. I can always re-enter those. But, yeah, that's what I'm doing, guys. Taking some risk off, locking in some gains today. I feel comfortable doing that. And of course, I'm still heavily invested. Majority, most of my money's invested, obviously. But, moving some money around, raising some cash, and we'll see how the next couple of days go. So I'm excited, man. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments. Hit the like button. Feel free to subscribe. And again, we're trying to get to 100,000 subs here. You gotta subscribe. Hit that notification bell. Check out the Patreon for my private Discord. Get in there for that. The private portfolio updates as well. Check it out. Link down below. Also pinned in the comments. Or go to stasurfest.com/Patreon. I'll see you guys in there. And with that being said, have a great rest of your day.